You recently said that there are 4 branches of the government and the 4th is called Silicon Valley, and they're stronger than the rest of them. Maybe you can give me a little perspective on the fight we've been battling lately. I mean, until 8 weeks ago, I was the darling of YouTube, and now we're literally one strike away from being deplatformed, all from having calm conversations that don't encourage violence, destruction of property, and yet we're still being censored. What are your thoughts on this, Charlie?
Well, look, this is now one of the biggest issues in Western civilization. Look, the founding fathers, they wrote extensively about how they were worried about power, centralized power. That's why I'm a conservative. And now in recent years, we're starting to ask ourselves the question, is there a power that is growing that is potentially bigger than the federal government, that actually might have more centralized capacity to influence public opinion or be able to have positive or negative sort of influences on society? And so you look at Google, for example, and you mentioned YouTube. They have the power to be able to topple a government. 90+% of all search results go through Google. And it's interesting because a lot of our monopoly laws were written in the early 1900s for a completely different type of monopoly, for a monopoly that would have had vertical monopolization and would have been exploiting people on prices. This is different. This is something that could potentially be culturally exploitative, that could be linguistically or politically exploitative. And so this is happening much quicker than people realize. And so there's a collision happening right now in the conservative movement. I think it's a healthy one, where there's some people that say we should do nothing. I think that's a mistake. People say that, oh, just let free market principles play itself out. I'm not of the opinion that is going to first of all, I don't believe there's actually a free market in tech right now. I think that's actually not an honest observation of how these tech companies operate. And secondly, I think you need to look more broadly at the power that these tech giants actually hold, whether it be in the political space, their ability to make people, they essentially hold the power to digitally assassinate somebody. And so I want you to understand the power of that. If I told you that someone's existence, the amount of time they spend on the phone. So if someone's watching this right now, go to your screen time on either your iPhone or your Android or your device. If it's more than 5 hours or 6 hours a day, then your identity is mostly through your device. And so if a tech company has the ability just to assassinate you and disappear you, are they not getting rid of an aspect of you? And so there's a lot of questions about what does this look like public policy-wise and philosophically. But I'm of the opinion that when you have the traditional 3 branches of government and you have the 4th branch of government, which is the unelected, unknown, unchecked power of the bureaucracies, but even more so than the bureaucracies, you have these tech giants in Silicon Valley, and not every one of these companies are equally as abusive. I want to make that very clear. They're all different degrees. Twitter is perplexing at how aggressive they've been in recent days, fact-checking the president using Washington Post literature while completely ignoring the tyrants of the Chinese Communist Party, Google going after individuals such as yourself. Facebook has very questionable decisions they've made on their government oversight board of censorship and this new fact-checking process. But I will say with Facebook, I can get a human being on the phone within an hour at Facebook, and I can give you examples of actually how they have communicated with me and actually admitted that they've done some things not so well. Whether that will continue or not will remain to be seen. But Google and Twitter right now, they are on a very dangerous path to basically say they want to be a leftist company. They want to be a leftist, anti-conservative, anti-free speech company. And that's something that should concern everyone watching this, regardless of your political persuasion or affiliation.